So David Ornstein has shedded some light on these deadline day Tonali rumours. We've been linked with Goretzka of Bayern Munich. Apparently, Harry Wilson, a young talented Scottish player who was offered a trial at Arsenal, has elected to join Spurs on a permanent basis. Wanyeri spoke, and there's a lot to discuss and decide for people. Obviously, owing to Mikel Merino's injury, it probably is making some Arsenal fans get a bit nervous. I do want to ask you lot, do you lot think we'll sign anyone in what's left of the window? Do you think we need cover there? Or do you think with the Odegaards, the Ezes, the Kai Havertzes, the option of a Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield and a Norgard, that we've got options to suitably be able to do what needs to be done? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to smash the like button. It'd be rude for me not to obviously just share my screen, and let's crack on with all of this, guys and girls. Arsenal make Leon Goretzka approach after Newcastle response to Sandro Tonali transfer. Now, we're going to get linked with everybody. Tonali's a bit bewildering considering he signed a new deal. I believe, forgive me if I'm wrong, Goretzka has made clear he's leaving Bayern Munich. I'm not sure on the length of his contract. And we have earlier today been linked with Ruben Neves. Now, there's rumours he will sign a new contract at the club he's at in Saudi. On paper, his contract's winding down. So I'm not too sure on the loan stuff there. Is it too little, too late? I don't know. We'll get into it. But even on the Tonali thing, on the Athletic podcast, apparently we was offered Tonali days ago. I'm not sure when, because if we're finding out Mikel Merino suffered an injury today or, Saturday, give or take, it's now come out that he suffered it against Manchester United. Obviously, he couldn't play against Kairat. What's going on in the footballing world and when it's going on in the footballing world, like when it comes to us and what's actually happened, are two very different things. But as I said, Arsenal have been busy on deadline day, apparently, with Bayern Munich midfielder Leon Goretzka in their sights. Arsenal are poised to leave their business until the final moments of the transfer deadline day, with the 7 p.m. deadline looming. Mikel Arteta is prepared to enter the market at the last minute. Mikel Merino picked up a foot injury during Arsenal's defeat to Manchester United last week, and Arteta has subsequently revealed a bone fracture in the player's right foot that will require an operation. Big up to everyone who watched my earlier live stream. We did cover the Mikel Merino stuff and look what the journalists had to say in the official statement, so check that out after this. According to TalkSport, Arsenal have made inquiries about Goretzka as a Mikel Merino replacement, though a transfer for the player at this moment seems unlikely. Goretzka is expected to depart Bayern in the summer when his deal expires. Bayern and Goretzka have been in discussions but opted against renewing the player's contract. The German international has been at Bayern since 2018, has secured 6 Bundesliga titles and 2 DFB Cups, people. He's also claimed a domestic Super Cup on 3 occasions, won the Champions League as well as the UEFA Cup and the Club World Cup. Not even his agent, the sporting director at Bayern said, Leon feels very much at home in this club and this team. Despite several inquiries, he has decided to stay here until the end of the season. After open and constructive talks, we have come to the conclusion together that he will seek a new challenge in the summer. It will be 8 years at Bayern, 8 extremely successful years with a strong person and player. Leon will give his all up to the summer to win as many titles with the team as possible. It will be 8 years, 8 extremely successful years, strong person and player. Oh, why has it got that twice? I'm not sure why that's got it twice, people. The news comes after Newcastle rebuffed any interest from Arsenal in Sandro Tonali, with his agent now denying that talks between himself and the Gunners ever took place. Encouragement appeared to have arrived from elsewhere, though, but the Italian will stay at Newcastle until the summer at the very least, people. I'm not sure what the hell this has to do with anything, people, but let's carry on and crack on. Sandro Tonali was never going to leave Newcastle in January window. Never been a possibility, says Romano. Could be one to watch in the summer with several clubs already keen, but will depend on Newcastle, not a topic now. I mean, again, we kind of covered Tonali in depth in the last live stream. If you care enough, smash the like button on this one. Subscribe if you're new and make sure you check that one out. His agent has said it's not even being discussed now. We will see around March about Sandro's valuation, but only if Newcastle decide to open doors. He's completely focused on Newcastle's season now. It's a nonsense topic, which is quite bewildering because David Ornstein has said Sandro Tonali offered to Arsenal by agents, so Arsenal explored, but no contact with Newcastle United. Nothing will happen this window. 25-year-olds can't put the idea to Andrea Berta, so looked into it as per any player of interest. Now it's been described by Ornstein as impossible at this moment in time. So is the agent using apparently Arsenal's willingness or these Arsenal rumours to leverage a deal to elsewhere, maybe getting renewed deals at Newcastle, maybe, play, because if there's been several inquiries, maybe playing all the clubs off against each other. In Tonali's case, I don't think this is relevant. If he becomes available, several clubs will be interested in him. But think about it logically. If you're an agent, even if your line is not ringing for players, you're never going to come out and say my player is short of offers. You're going to say he's got bare offers, he's got this and that. You've got to sell the asset in it if that is the case. Harry Wilson to join Tottenham. Here we go. Deal in place for Scottish 18-year-old to join Tottenham project. He's actually been played a number of times for Hearts. He's been capped by the nation as well. Arsenal were offering a trial, while Spurs offered a loan deal with buy option clause, now agreed with Hearts. Medical happening now with formal steps next. Now, apparently, that's James Wilson. I don't know why I keep calling him Harry Wilson, but the lad we're linked with that plays for St. Mirren. Apparently, he's at Arsenal's training ground to do things. We have signed a player, though. Arsenal agreed deal to sign England under-19 international Jayden Dixon on a 4-year deal. He was at Spurs. He actually is in the same England youth camp as a Max Dowman and obviously Jack Porter. So was their boss calls made? Deal completed for 3.2 million plus add-ons. Arsenal view the player as a massive signing, beating several clubs to the signings. Now, obviously, 3-odd million quid. If he progresses to the first team in any capacity, great. If not, we're selling him on at under 21s level. He's obviously going to help us. He played a number of times last season for Stoke City, so you just never know. It's a win-win in that regards, because you lot know how critical I am of Arsenal at under 21s level. I don't think we're strong enough. Ivan Mooney, who's the St. Mirren's lad, has been at Arsenal's training ground today, completing his move to the club. So Mr. Wilson's going to Spurs. Ivan Mooney looks like he's signing for us. And where Igor Tejon is of Blackburn, if we are going to get him, it's going to have to be in the summer when his deal runs out. Gyökeres has been speaking. The most important thing is that we win games. There's still time for me to show that I'm capable of doing even more. Fair enough. And obviously that's ahead of the game tomorrow, which we will be doing a watch along, where Arsenal versus Chelsea in the second leg of the League Cup final. We were linked with Rodrigo Mendoza, people. Apparently Atletico Madrid are in direct club-to-club talks with Elche to sign Rodrigo Mendoza on deadline day. Negotiations underway with player keen on the move. Elche rejected an opening proposal, but Athletic are still on it as per whatever report that is. That's a player that's been linked with Arsenal, probably going to be one that was for the summer. There's nothing there. So, yeah, Newcastle have rebuffed any attempts from Arsenal to launch an audacious deadline day move for Tonali, people. So it's looking like a myth. It's looking like it was never something. We all knew it was a bit of a myth anyways. For what it's worth, he does have 2 years left on his deal with the option of another year. So essentially a 3-year deal. Maybe he wants out either to return to Italy or join another club, people. I'm not too sure what is going on there, people. So I have to see. Apparently, Arsenal handed major Bukayo Saka injury boost. Now, I must admit, where Saka's concerned, some reports are describing it as a bit more serious. Some are saying it's not really an issue. We are going to go over Mikel Arteta's press conference, so make sure we're there. I mean, I'd love Arsenal to win the quadruple. Do you not think we could do that, people? Once again, Ivan Mooney, as you saw, he's at London Coley, or whatever they call it now, the Showbar Sports Centre, or whatever it is. St. Mirren kid Ivan Mooney could be on his way to Arsenal in a shock deal, potentially worth £800,000. The London Giants have been tracking the 18-year-old for over a year, and we're weighing up a 265k bid. So there's been quite the jump. So we're going to sign him for just under £1 million, people. There'll probably be add-ons, sell-on clauses, all of that. That's eye-watering fees to me and you. You know what? If we got 800,000 quid or 265,000 quid in this country, the UK system, tax system will chop it. But to a football club, that's pennies. If he progresses to the first team, great. If he progresses to the first team but isn't quite good enough and he's sold on for a lot more with a sell-on clause, great. If he becomes an Arsenal first teamer, we're laughing, people. So it kind of is what it is. Let's see what Wanyeri said, who's spoken. When asked of stuff, he said, yeah, that's definitely true. Anything is possible in football. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any contact. I can't tell you what will happen. We'll see when that happens. I want him back next season, but I don't think it's the worst idea for him, if he gets a lot of football and it works, or regardless, to go get another bit of football, because the good times, the bad times, it makes you what you are. You ask Saliba about his Nice loan spell, his Marseille loan spell, and probably remember that weird 6 months where he was at Arsenal. He made a mistake against MK Dons. He was in our 21s and he didn't play. These things make you what it is. Apparently, the attacking midfielder held private talks with both Saliba and Odegaard ahead of his move. I mean, he would have spoken to a lot of people, but he said, first of all, I think Marseille is a very big club. The coaches, the fans, the way they play, it's extraordinary. The fans really give it their all. I think it's a great opportunity for me. I didn't hesitate. And he's got 2 games under his belt now. Honestly, my answer to all of that was yes. I think that's why I came. The experience, seeing a big club like this, learning as much as possible, being able to really add to my skill set at season end. When I came here, obviously I wasn't yet 100% fit, but I'm working on it. I've spoken with the staff. I think I'll be able to play more and more. I felt good during the last match. That's normal, of course. It's a process. There haven't been any injuries, so I feel good, honestly. And we love that. We love that. We love that. On the Marseille disappointment from exiting the Champions League, obviously the whole team was very disappointed. We wanted to move forward to progress in the Champions League. Obviously, the way we were eliminated is frustrating. It wasn't a good feeling, but we have to react quickly. We don't really have time to dwell on it. 2 or 3 days later, we already had to play again. It's disappointing, but we have to keep going. Arsenal are not expected to explore recalling Ranieri in light of Mikel Merino's foot injury. There's no break clause included within the agreement anyways, as we all know. Let's see what Mikel Arteta has said ahead of the semi-final second leg tomorrow, people. On if there are any new injury concerns, no, I think you're aware of all of them. Maybe that's in relation to Saka and Marino. On Bukayo, we have to wait. Today he was better, but we have to wait and see how he responds and then make the decision. It doesn't look like something too serious. Whether he's going to be available for tomorrow or the weekend, we'll see. On if Marino will be back before the end of the season, we hope so. I don't know. He needs to go through a procedure, which is not always positive. He's a big player for us, a player that has such versatility and capacity to compete in various positions, and that's a big blow. On if it's a fracture, yes, it is. On if he could target the World Cup, let's see. It's a very rare injury, which scares me then. So we have to wait and see. Once we have the surgery, how that reacts daily. Obviously, monitor it throughout the week for surgery and see. I know Mikel is going to do absolutely everything he can to come back as quickly as possible. But as well, you have to respect the healing process and the fact that obviously it's an injury that is quite rare. On if it's a pain for him, for the team as well, because he's a big player for us, a very important player for us. And we're not going to have him until probably the end of the season. So he's not going to be part of a lot of stuff. Got to remember, he's captained our club. He's got the clutch gene. He scored some vital goals. He's part of the leadership group and he is the captain. We are going to miss every player that's not available. On if we could sign players in the window. Of course, when you lose a big player like this in the squad with 4 months to go and all the competitions to play for, you need to look and we need to do everything that we possibly can to see if we can have a player that is available. If we don't, we'll keep what we have. On if we have to replace him with someone else special. At this level, especially for 4 months, you have to be a player who has the capacity to adapt immediately and impact the team. That's not always easy, but if it was easy, we wouldn't be here. So we need to find solutions and try. We have more depth now, but for 7 months, we haven't had the depth because we have players out like a lot of teams. So we know the demands and the standards we need. We need players because we play every 2 or 3 days. I mean, Yen said on how pivotal the results were during the weekend. We can only control what we can control. Last week we lost. Now everything looks different. We are very happy with how we competed and won our game. And that's the only thing in our hands. By the way, big congratulations to our women's team for winning a trophy at the weekend as well, which is really nice news. On Paul Merson's comments, we need another 13, 14 of those and to make that happen. We know how much there's still to do. We are very cautious of that. I think every club is very cautious of that and we'll just keep going. On if we're targeting a treble, I think we go day by day, competition by competition. And tomorrow we have a really tough game against a very good Chelsea side. Remember, Leon Rosiner smirked at the fact that we haven't won in 5 years. Cool, Chelsea have won stuff. What have you won? Anyways, we have home advantage. We have a good result, but we still have a lot to do tomorrow to end the right to win the final. On if the players should believe a pop treble is possible, there's no point talking about it. All we can do is talk and control what we do daily to sustain the level we have or to improve it, I think. On if it's simple to handle the Merino news in the market. No, it's not. We had the news a few days ago. Obviously, we are always active in every window that we have just in case something happens. We have the departure of Ranieri as well to Marseille for the right reasons, I believe, for the club, players and the team. Then the news of Mikel was very unexpected, obviously, especially for such a long time. So we are actively looking at options and we'll continue to do that. Pardon me, my day will be the same as usual. I'll be busier. And if we have a final solution, I will try to do it. And if we don't do it, we'll continue in the manner that we have now. If we do something, it's just to improve what we have and to be better. Certainly not with that purpose. So we have the consideration in relation to the opportunity that we have, whether we do it or not. On Chelsea conceding goals under Rezina, I mean, it's a bit irrelevant. We know why we want to win this and how much of a big chance it is. On Eze, yes, you have to impact the game consistently through 96 minutes at this level. Any phase, any action is the most important action. On top of that, you have to be able to add other values. In his case, he's very, very good and unique at creating those magic moments. So that is the demand of each player. for different reasons, to be fair, because we have certain injuries on the front line and we utilize them on the left, we have injuries as well on the right. So he has been able to adapt to different positions. I think in the last few weeks, he's had more consistency in one position and just trying to understand as well those relationships where he's more comfortable, where he can impact more the game in relation to the opponent. And that is where we are. On if we're seeing signs of an improvement in Gyökeres, yes, well, it's his all-round play and performances, I would say. He has been much more consistent in actions and consecutive actions, especially his defending. And that's what I liked against Leeds, man. Like when he tracked, there's a moment where he tracks all the way back. He has much more. So yeah, his defensive output has been terrific from the beginning. But attacking wise, understanding his movements, the timings of his runs, the present and the movement of the ball have been much better. He's been more prolific, certainly in front of goal to help us with more games. 6 GA in 6 games. What's Haaland doing? Who cares? On scoring goals that aren't aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, I mean, he has the ability to do that, and goals are goals. I know that we prefer the beautiful ones on YouTube, but they're all very important, and the ones we scored recently are very much the same. On if Lewis Skelly could play in midfield, which I'm sure, smash the like button and let me know your thoughts if you want to see. Yes, Miles has the qualities to play in different positions. He has played as a fullback, as a six, or as an attacking midfielder even. So yes, that's an option that we have in the squad. On why he's not being used more in midfield, because I believe he had the best chance to break into the first team playing in that position, left back, because I think he has unique qualities, sounding like me, that we didn't have in the squad to accommodate that and to give him the chance to play for us. On Wanyeri, once again, we made the decision. Now I would love to see from Ethan is that he scores that goal every 3 days. When he plays a lot more minutes, he gets more exposure he needs. He continues to grow mentally, physically, and all the technical and tactical aspects that are necessary at this level. And that's the reason we've done it, because we believe that was the right context and the right coach for him to do that under. And hopefully that's going to happen. On not having a clause. Well, to be fair, that's more something for Andrea Berta and Sam Hable in this case. I'm more in charge of deciding and negotiating, because it's not only what we want as well, it's what other clubs expect from the player that is joining them and the way he commits. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to read that about Berta and whatnot. On if he's relaxed, I wouldn't say relaxed. I think we're on it. It's our responsibility when we're playing for what we're playing to give ourselves the best opportunity and chance to look at the market, every option, evaluate them, then make a decision whether we do something if it's possible. On if he thinks about what happened at the end of last Jan. Yes, I think it's a very different one as well. I know what happened very, very well. I know the details of that. So it was a totally different one. On how he stops players feeling like they are owed the league title. Yes, the reality that we face every day. They're the ones who experience the difficulty and the challenge and the level of this league and what we want to accomplish. So it's obviously not even a thought. On how he's become more connected to the supporters, I don't know. I think it's something trust. I think a relationship, a cohesion that you have to build every single day. The way you behave when you win, when you don't, in the manner that you make decisions, in the manner that you're perceived inside the club. I don't know. I think all of these are all factors. I'm very, very grateful for the way I get treated, the way I get respected, for the response that all our supporters have with the team and with myself constantly. Tomorrow we have a beautiful night together again to make something special. We're all together and we're going to do it. I hope we are, man. I hope we are. Once again, Mendoza has been linked with Atletico.